or shoot the gate, and then we pick one we want to second.
Yeah, and run them into the crush. Yeah. So, hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and today is 6 o'clock in the morning. First of the bulls are going to the factory, and as prepared as we always are, we have to let them out, pick the ones we want, and then wait for the lorry to come to take them away. So we're going with 10, 11, 12, we're just kind of see how many we have. But anyways, there's not a lot of time for talking, so we get to it. Open up the chain, let these lads up, out to the yard, take 3 out of the bottom pen. We take about 3 out of this pen, and a bullock that's in with the bulls. A 3-year-old bullock, well he's not quite 3, but you know what I mean. Lad that was let back out and he run with the bulls for the summer. And then we have to let out that pen over there on the millpeat and get them out. But anyways, down the camera and get this up. So, let these lads out, we shut them up to the top of the yard. We'll take the ones out we want out of the bottom. And yeah, as you can see there, you might be able to see it is dark. Shh, come on! We were to do this yesterday in daylight, picked them and then just let out the ones we wanted. But as always, things happen and the jobs you all get done don't get done, and everything takes long and you just don't get what you want to do done. But anyways, come on boys, everybody out, up! Come on boys, up! Come on! Shh. Come on boys, out! Everybody up! It'll be a little bit boisterous now that they get out, stretch the legs a bit, so always have to be mindful of them. With eyes in the back of your head. I think there's one will be taken. They're also a little bit dirty. It's just one of them things with the slats that just never seem to get them clean enough off the slats. If the cattle are too dirty or deemed too dirty, there's a penalty of €20 for the factory to run the clippers on them. And yes, it's €20. You have to pay €20, you could say it's a penalty, whatever you want to call it, if they're deemed them too dirty. So, like, you put that across a shed of bulls, it'd pay for a brush, and then the brush you have every year, provided you don't break it. So if anyone uses that as a brush for, it's raining at the minute and the lens is getting wet. If anyone has a brush that they use for that purpose, let me know. Tell me how you get on with it, because it is something we're looking into for the slats. Millpeat's different story, just clean as a whistle. We'll see later on. But anyways, I gotta go pick these next, pick out the ones we want out of the next pen. I have me Olight torches. Also, this video is sponsored by Herdwatch, and at the end of this video, when the cattle are gone, hung up, and we get the results back, how they did, we'll sit down, we'll have a look, we'll compare to last year. So, first 4 bulls have been selected. Now, get them into the crush. Come on boys, come on. Shh. Up the chute. Just want eyes in the back of your head now, this job. Come on boys, come on. Don't go across the gate, up the chute, come on. Come on. Shh. Come on, up, atta boys. Atta boys. Atta boys. Oh. We picked these lads. That lad there, right? He's next to the gate. See him with his head up. This lad. Oh. How about that? There's a bullock coming down here now. Lad, stub horns there. So anyways, that's 7 bulls. Yep. Put them back in and we'll go out the next shed and pick whatever's in it. Right. Come on! Shh! Up! 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 What? Hey! Up! 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 Hey! Up! Woo! 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 Up! Up! Push! Woo! So we're now in the millpeat. shed.
Ration.
So we are going to try and pick them out without letting them out. Just the jersey. He's not bad now. I'd say he could have a bit more size in them. Yeah. We only need 3 or 4 out here, so can be picky just to fill out the load. So we'll go have a walk through them and we see who's the best. These are only freshly bedded on milled PMA, not a week, and you can see how clean they are compared to the slats. Just no comparison. No comparison whatsoever. Mill Pete does a great job. Here's one. Come on, boy. You go up at the wrong time. Could be a... There's a good cover there, but it could be a bit light. That lad, gone by you. Always like to get a feel of the cattle. Gives you an idea. You're looking for that. The glob of fat, as I call it, on the back. Gives you a good idea as to what kind of fat level is on them. A tight bit of stuff there means he's not too fat. A nice soft bit, spongy bit, means he's got good cover on him. There's not enough cover on him. He's too hard. No. Yeah. He's good. He looks good and square anyways. So, that's our bulls. Shut the gate. We'll put them all into the crush and we'll have a look at them all. We'll do a little bit of a prediction game for the crack. See, do I still have dye for it after? So now, next job is get all the tag numbers read, so we can get our tags, our passports ready to send them off. And we might weigh some of them and see what kind of weights they are, so we can have a bit, know what kill out percentages they do when the time comes. This will be the first time we've ever checked that, so yeah. We get to that. We'll put away the camera because these boys loose in the yard are a little bit rowdy and we can't shut them into the pen with others because they will start fighting. It's just one of them things, you cannot mix bulls because they do start bucking and fighting each other, and we don't want them to end up getting bruised heading to the factory. It's one of the reasons why we don't carry sticks when we're loading cattle, because you just don't want any bruising on them. So anyways, so we are now ready, waiting to load up 3 batches of bulls, as you can see, separated. Cannot mix them because they'll just fight. They'll fight till they'll kill other. But anyways, we weighed them there. Didn't have the camera just because we had bulls behind me, and I'd prefer a big bin of bulls than standing beside a few bulls, because a few bulls seem to be a lot more anxious, maybe is the right word, compared to a big pen of bulls. But anyways, so our average weight of the 11 bulls here in the Herdwatch app, don't know, can you see it? Lighting might be a bit astray. Our average weight of the boys, 11 bulls, 9 bulls and 2 bullocks, is 555 kilos. Belty is a bit on the poor side. Our Belty Galloway, I wouldn't be rushing off to buy any more Belty Galloways. It was a bit of a do it for the shits and the giggles, really. See how the Belty Galloway do, but I wouldn't be rushing out to buy them because he just too light. It's the best way to put it. Too light. But anyways, on them cattle, we didn't have them all weighed going in, but on the ones we did weigh going in, we had the highest daily growth rate of 1.88 kilos. If I just find it here on the phone, where is it? Yeah, so Friesian Cross, you see it there, 1.88. So what are the big advantages of Sherman is shouting away there, but one of the big advantages of the Herdwatch app, I just weighed them. I can see the average daily weight in straight away from the last time I weighed them. No messing or bollocks. And if you're looking and you see a lot of them are 0.6 and 0.7, their cattle have never been weighed, and that's their daily. So just scroll there top, so you can see there's an average daily weight in 0.73, 0.768. That's calculated on them as if they were 45 kilos the day they were born. So that's what they've done since in their life, their whole lifespan. But anyways, we had the highest daily growth rate of 1.8. We had a Jersey bull Can you see there? 1.31 kilos a day since he went in. Fantastic growth rate, especially for a Jersey. We are very happy with them lads. We'll have a bit of a look at them. There's an Ayrshire here. Well, I'll see if I can find the Ayrshire. He's in the crush. I think he's 2297. No, here he is. This is an Ayrshire. So that's probably an Ayrshire over Frisian or Frisian over an Ayrshire, but that's an Ayrshire bull. He's Ayrshire on the card. Fat scores, I say we should be fairly confident. You can see this is what we go on. Just how pudgy. That is really pudgy. Also, you can feel the inside of the flank, inside of the leg, and you can lots of loose skin there to pinch. But don't really go on. This emptiness here can be caused if they just didn't eat their full. That can cause that emptiness. So don't really look at that. But in general, you can feel like, you know, there's cover there. You can easily pinch and squeeze them. That's the same. They're all around the same. I would reckon shouldn't have any peas. I don't think if anyone's going to be an R, it's going to be the Baltic Galloway. Our other bullock is actually the other bullock at the top that weighed the best and did the kilo a day. He's actually FRX on the paper, so there's probably a touch of Jersey in him. Dress them, they're all really the same. There is some good shapes in them, but I'd say we'll have a range O minuses to O plus. He may be an R. If not, he'll be an O plus. He won't be any less than that. I'd say most of them will be O equals. And I'd say the fats, first load of bulls, we'll be doing well if we average a 2 plus, but I'd say we'll average about 2 equals. Just, they're not 90 days on the feed, so it's a bonus. But I would expect that we'll average around the 2 equals. You always want 2 plus, but it's first load of bulls, not 90 days on feed. It's a win-win. I'll be hoping now there'll be no 1 pluses and there'll be no P's. So leave your comment down below whether you think I'll be right or wrong. Average carcass weight should be around 270, 275, and should average an O equals carcasses and 2 equals. Shouldn't be any less. Be very happy if we had all average 2 pluses. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. We'll pick it up at the kitchen table when all is said and done. So now we are back inside. The results are back at the cattle. Got on very well. So we are now going to go onto the computer, check out some of the stuff on Herdwatch, our weights and our average daily weight gains, and then we're going to compile all that onto our database, our dairy beef database for 19. We'll see our averages of the 12 cattle or 11 cattle we killed. But anyways, we will get into the computer now and have a look at that, because as you can see, I used the computer. The computer is plugged into the TV, and that's what we use for doing that. But anyways, we'll go into the computer. So we are now looking at the Herdwatch app on the desktop, on the computer there. So the thing I want to show you is just the weights. So I click on weights there. We'll go to animals weighed. Just brings it up a little bit nicer because I can see the orange dot, then go to the blue dot. So these are the cattle we weighed. Now one of the things you will, some of them are 0.7, 0.6. Them 0.7s and 0.6s, some of that is some of them are because they weren't weighed before, and then it's taken the weight as if it was the day it was born. It was 45 kilos, and since it was born, that's what it's done. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to them ones. It's the 1 kilo, the 0.9, 0.13 and 0.11 there, or 1.88 and 1.3, not 3. I'm getting this completely arsewise. Anyways, so if I click on the animal, so I can see this is a bullock, and I can see when he was weighed the 16th of the 10th, he was 520 kilos, and then the day we sent him away, he was 610. He done just over a kilo a day, which is great for a bullock. Impressive. We also have this Jersey here, and he done well. Now this Jersey done well. He was weighed the 16th of the 10th at 460 kilos, and then on the day he went the 12th of the 1st, he done 1.31 kilos since then, which is great. Jersey, remember that Jersey lads, 575 kilos. It's exactly what you're after. But you can see now if I click on some of them, so there's another one, you can see 0.98, so nearly a kilo a day in that Jersey. I'll go I will sit down now and I'll put all the stuff together on the laptop, on Liv's laptop, where the Excel spreadsheet of the dairy database is. But anyways, the other thing I want to show you, if I go animals in herd, I click smart list, smart, I moved out section, which brings up a list of all the cattle that have been moved out of the herd, whether they died or were sold. It allows me to be able to bring them up to have a look at them after the fact. So I can see then this lad here, I can see his date of birth, his day he was moved in, his last weight that he was weighed, the day he was sold, where it was sold, the reason it was sold, so sold to factory and then sold to Dunby as slain. Progeny, if the animal was a breeding animal, you'll be able to look up its progeny there. And then the history. So I can see then where the batch of cattle it's been to summer with. I can see when I dosed it, the last thing I can see when it was dosed, and then I can see any weight. So it gives you all the information you've put in on that animal comes up here. Very handy, as you can see there. I can get the breakdown of the animal for doing up my stats. We go now and we do up all our calculating and we put all onto our dairy beef database, and then we'll pick up the camera again and we'll go through the stats, how they've done, our averages. So now we have the maths is done. I have it all calculated, added up, and on the 11 cattle, our average live weight was 555 kilos. Our average carcass weight was 276. Average kilo was 50%, which I'm quite happy with that. If I remember rightly, and I'm probably wrong in saying it, on the Chagish, if you type in what should the kilo be of Frisian cattle, it says 45%. So 50% is good. Happy with that. Very happy with that. On the grade, our average grade was O equals, which, dairy cattle, happy enough. But the fat score, 3-. Bang on the money. You're aiming for the 2+. And the 2+ and above is spot on. But to average 3- across the 11 cattle, bang on the money. Couldn't be happier with that. Anyways, so you can see, you might be able to see, I'm just on the laptop, so you can see there our different weights. Also our average daily weight gain since the cattle went in. So the animal that was at 1.88 kilos, his actual average daily weight gain since he went into the shed was 0.82, so middling enough. But then we had, and one of the things that I can see just by looking at that is there's a big difference between our slat-head shed performance and our bedded shed's performance. Our slat-head shed, 2 of the cattle on the slat-head shed both did over a kilo, one of them being a bullock, which is great. A bullock that does a kilo a day is quite a good bullock. But her straw bedded sheds, all kind of just, the few that were weighed, now look at it, it's a bad sample to just have a few, so as more cattle are killed and I have more, it looked better, but so far not looking great. Is it because we were bedding with straw and they're eating some of the straw? Quite possibly. Killouts, if you take away the one bullock who killout was only 46%, you take him out, our killout percentage would have been about 51% on the bulls. Just happy with them now, happy with them. Also, this is the dairy beef database, so I can even go back and I can see that 4 of the 11 were sick when they were calves, but they're only sick once, and only 1 of them calves was sick with pneumonia. 1 was a chill, 2 had a scour. Can see the amount of milk they drank. I can also see what feeders they were on, and something that's interesting there, of the 9 bulls, because the 2 bullocks weren't recorded, I just pegged them into the 19s calves because they're actually 18s, but of the 9 bulls, 7 of them were from feeder 1, which would have been our hay shed feeder, the low roof shed, the shed we kind of prefer, and only 2 were from our other shed, the more airier shed, the bigger shed. That could be something that could have something to play with it. And then I can also go back and I can see the farms they come from, I can see the breeds. Another interesting thing, we only had the bulls, now we'll just leave the bullocks to one side. Of bulls, we had 2 Friesians, 1 Ayrshire, 4 FRX, and FRX usually means there's a nice touch of Jersey in them, and then we had 2 Jerseys, so if it's JEX it means it's over 50%. And that is something we tend to see a lot of, is our Jersey and our Friesian cross always kill first. Don't ask me why, probably the hybrid vigor and the bit of a mix of genes that's in them, but they always kill first. Maybe a little bit lighter, but kill first, better fat scores. And it's shown again. So anyways, look at that's really it. There's not much else I can show you there. As we get all the cattle processed and I fill up the database, it'll become a lot better. Your small samples like that are always kind of poor to get your averages on, but hey, I'm happy enough with them, especially fat score, bang on them. I'm very happy with that. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? I know some people probably say our weight to age is probably pretty poor, but we don't pick our calves. We just take everything that's there. We take the bad with the good, and we buy them at the right money. Anyways, look, I'm going to leave it at that for today's video. As I said at the start of this video is sponsored by Herdwatch, so you've seen the app there, you can see the benefits of it. We've been using it for quite a while now, and we're only getting more and more into it as I keep finding new features, especially the next gen app. Heck of a lot of new stuff on it compared to the old app. If you're interested, there'll be a link in the description down below. There'll be phone numbers. You can inquire, you can check it out, and I'm pretty sure there's still a free trial available if you want to check it out for free for yourself. Anyways, look, I'm going to leave it at that for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the few cattle you've seen and how they killed out. To be honest, we're happy with how they killed. We always like them a little bit heavier, but the price is up this year compared to last year, so that's the main thing. Once that price keeps going up, we only get happier. But anyways, look, we'll leave it at that. That's it for me. Good luck, mind yourself, and eat lots of beef.